Okay, so dear Dharma practitioners, be comfortable yourself and relax your body. Keep your back straight, neck head straight in one line, and your right palm on your left. So gently close your eyes and bring your attention to this bell sound. And while you're focusing to the sound, mentally relax your body, relax your mind, and relax your breathing with your thoughts. So do nothing extra. Just follow the sound, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened one. So, dear Dharma practitioners, before we start our practice session, as usual, we'll take few minutes to understand ourselves, how this meditation will help for us to develop our inner tranquility state and to have an undisturbed mind. And from that place, how we can develop analytical, critical awareness. So when it comes to Buddha's teaching, it is start the very famous word called suffering. So when it comes to suffering, before the Buddha, people knew the word is suffering. And they understood the suffering in different ways. And why that the Buddha's interpretation about the suffering is important. Why it's changed the world. Why it changed the seekers. Why it changed all the yogis, practitioners, and it completely shift this all the ascetic practice. As suffering, we used to see that all these outside things, and we never touch the inner self. We thought that inside this inner self is as a kind of like a very unchangeable and very concrete, solid existence. And these outside things we used to see as changeable things. And from that point of view, people used to struggle with the outside world to get out of it. And they knew the world is suffering in a certain level, in conventional level. And from that point, they used to look to find a place where there is no suffering. So that's mean another way, that's the word come happiness. And that's why people used to look for the heaven. And that's why people used to look for that permanent existence. That's why people used to look for how to harness with the creator or the God, because they want to find a very secure, safe place where there is no suffering, that where there ultimate happiness. So that also based with the self-centered mind. They look for the safe place for I am. But according to the Buddha's teaching, the world is not the outside world. There is a world is outside, but that with our eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind, this head to toes, related to our form, feeling, perception, volition, and recognition, that is our world. So in that world, the whatever you experience always change. So if you are capable to understand that, you don't look for a place to find the happiness, because there's no such a place that you can find the happiness, and there's no such a person can attain to happiness like that way, because the person also change. So then if you look yourself from childhood to today, you are not the same. The body change, your feelings, ideas change, your point of view change, your awareness change, your understanding, your consciousness, that everything change. It's developed to a different level now. So then today, whoever you are, within another 10 years, you're going to be changed. You are in a process, you are in a journey. So understanding that will help for you to go into more deeper and recognize what is happening within you, rather than looking for an outside place to find the satisfaction. And when it comes to the world, that when you know the world is suffering, then one of the important thing is it gives us a opportunity. It creates the environment for us to grow. It's like the mud. So the mud, soiled, give an environment to grow for the lotus. So same like the suffering give an environment to not the grow happiness. That is the important key point you have to understand, because before the Buddha and even still today, the people, as an antidote for the suffering, as a counterattack for the suffering, as a reaction for the suffering, they look for happiness. So if the suffering is not permanent, and out of that, whatever, if you gain the happiness, that also not going to be permanent. It doesn't matter anywhere. So then don't look for the happiness, because whatever you reach in that very level, in that very moment, it's going to go to another level. Of course, that the suffering, where there is suffering, there is a happiness. But you don't need to look for happiness, because it is there. So like the day and night. When you say day, there without a night, there is no day. It's like the left and right. Without the left, there is no right. So it's like the up and down. So you don't need to look for the the happiness, because happiness is there. Wherever the suffering, happiness is there. Then what you need to look? So rather than go towards the happiness, and according to the Buddha's teaching, what you need to develop, you have to develop the wisdom. So in that way, you become matured and you become strong to handle the suffering. And you are become strong to handle the happiness also. That when it comes to us, we have no power sometimes as ordinary people who we have no power to handle the suffering. We have no power to handle the happiness also. Out of happiness, people do very crazy things. Out of suffering, people do the very crazy things. And out of happiness, also people do the crazy thing. But that's why we need the wisdom to gain the balance, to have the undisturbed mind, to be strong, to face for the suffering. Because when you become strong, when you can handle the suffering, and anymore, it's not going to make you unbalanced. And it's not going to make you disturbed. Another thing is, once you are capable to handle the suffering, what happening, the one of the major important thing happen inside you. This cravingness regarding the happiness going to disappear. Once you are capable and matured to become strong to handle the suffering, the cravingness towards the happiness going to disappear. When you can't handle the suffering, you have the resistance toward this, and at the same time, the cravingness, the desire to attain or look for the happiness also going to become strong. So in that way, you start to do many that improfitable things. That's what happened most of the time. And the people don't want to suffer in the very conventional level. So, and because of that, what happens? They look for the happiness and they start to do many wrong things. Stealing and misleading themselves and selling drugs and doing harm to people. And why people do a lot of things to earn money and the other things. Even in the conventionally, because they can't handle the suffering. They can't handle the pain. So then remember yourself. In the very first level, you have to be matured, to take the suffering as an opportunity. Just imagine in the world, if this world is a completely happy place always, what will happen? What will happen to you as a very conventional, ordinary person? You can't handle that. You start to do many crazy things. You will destroy yourself. The suffering is a kind of like a place that it allows us to keep our limits also deeply. And that background will help for you to little bit move back rather than just keep jumping forward. So always remember, the world itself suffering, but that suffering, it's a why? Because it's always change. So that will give you the opportunities. So that opportunity, don't invest to find the happiness. You may find some kind of happiness, but it's going to go away. Then look for the wisdom. So use and invest that you're suffering to gain the wisdom. So what is the wisdom then? So wisdom not about that outside things. Use all your difficulties, all your suffering, all your failures, all your muds to understand what is happening in you and how it happens. And once you recognize that, there's something happening in you, and that whatever the shift happen in you, bring the change to yourself. That is what very necessary. Because just imagine, if you are not changed, if there is no change happen in you, what is the point of happiness or wisdom? So that's why understanding deeply regarding yourself is the path to wisdom. So another way it's called mindfulness. You have to be mindful about you. You have to be mindful about what you experience. And that is how you can transform the change or the sufferings to the wisdom, not to the happiness. So your suffering, the desire will always take you towards the happiness, that the idea about the happiness. And out of your bodily, verbally, mentally actions, you will keep working 24/7. And from birth to death, you will keep working. Look for happiness. And it's not going to end. It goes eons by eons, you will keep working. There's no end. You may reach to something, you lose it, you gain something, you lose it, then you go, it's like a circle. So then, but if you develop the mindfulness, you slowly withdraw from that journey, then you start to understand and you start to develop the wisdom. So the wisdom doesn't come just by thinking. So that's why you need the ability to observe without bringing the thoughts, that without bringing your past experience to the present moment. You have to observe the very moment of experience. When you observe that way, what will happen? You are capable to recognize there's nothing happens independently. Everything is kind of like a part of something. And then once you recognize that, you get out of the dualistic mind. So it's kind of like a very simple example. When you see a flower, in that flower, you see the clouds, you see the rain, you see the wind, you see the sun. Without contribution from the sun, without contribution from the rain, without contribution from the flowers, without the clouds, without contribution from the mountains, without contribution from the 4 seasons, this flower not going to be here. That universal connection release you from the idea of, oh, I don't need this, I want that. So because you see that whatever that you experience, everything is there. And it bring the harness to yourself. Then you don't look for place to run, or you don't look for place to survive. So wherever you are, you just be there, because everything is there. That moment you experience is a part of this everything. That is what happens when you develop the mindfulness. But by thinking, you can't get that. For a certain level, you can touch it, you can get the flavor, but you're not going to deeply experience that. So once you experience that deeper level of connection, it takes you to the bottom of the existence and recognize it is not a journey from here to there. It is just the journey that happened inside us. Otherwise, that everything always sharing, interconnecting. So then how then you can apply that science to what happened when you get in? So you have to be mindful to understand that connection. So the mindfulness is a kind of like not interfering with thoughts, but you observing your experience. It's like observing, like a watching. So just imagine, how about you are close to the volcano, the boiling, all the lava, everywhere. If you in that area, close to that area, maybe you will die. But how about from far away? When you see these volcanoes erupt, how this lava jump, it becomes a kind of like a beautiful landscape. So observe, when you become mindful, observing experience give that kind of experience. That whatever the suffering, when you see with your mindfulness, it becomes kind of like a landscape that you see the erupted volcano from far away. But when you hold any suffering as you, it's going to burn you. It's going to burn you. And out of that, you kind of like the physically, the mentally, you start to struggle, and you're going to have a war. The mental, we have a war inside. The physically, we have a war 24/7. We look for some kind of winning with the pain and pleasure. We have a war, but look, through the journey we go on some kind of pleasure, but it's not going to become a complete winning place. So with the mind also, in a certain level, we used to have the war, and we achieved some things, but still it's gone. Because the very reason we get into that with the thoughts, that's why. And the repetition of action ignite the desire, and with that we try to to gain this outside world, it's not going to be there with us. So if you are capable to observe and develop the mindfulness related to whatever that your own inner experience, without interfering but just observing, it gives the clarity for yourself to know that whatever you suffer, whatever you experience, it is not an independent event happen only for you. You will recognize it is a part of this entire universe. And even though you hold it as suffering, then you will see next to that, there is a happiness also. But you're not going to touch it. Why? Because you know this both not permanent. So then that wisdom, that understanding, develop the undisturbed mind inside you. It doesn't matter regarding the suffering. It doesn't matter regarding the happiness. Then you not look for the happiness, because now you have the wisdom to know this both change. And this both is a part of the same thing. And then you are capable to see the happiness inside the suffering, and you are capable to see the suffering inside the happiness. And once you see that, you're not going to touch the both. And that is where you develop the equanimity. In the pain and the pleasure, you take with the same mind. So when it comes to the feelings, the bodily feelings also the same. The mental desires the same. The outside events the same. And then that is where you slowly get out of this cravingness. And that is where you withdraw from this conventional happiness and satisfaction. Because you know there is no such a thing called like that. That all just the concept we build up out of different experience. But when it comes to the world, there is no separation from anything. So once you recognize that, you become part of the world. And that is why you get out of the egocentric, self-centered mind. Because then you recognize you are part of this all. And when you recognize you are part of this all, you become more strong. And when you become more strong, that whatever the suffering or whatever the happiness happening in front of you, you are capable to handle it with mindfulness. You don't go to do crazy things out of that. More than the suffering things, people do crazy things when they are happy. You know, in the very conventional level of what we call happy. And people try to get into that level in many different ways, but they can't be there. They try many ways to be there, but they can't stay there. There was a turtle. Every day go to under the mango tree, and on the top of the mango tree there was a monkey. And every day this turtle come to mango tree and they see each other, no harm to each other. So they build up the friendship and the trust. So by the time the turtle told, You know what? I like to go to the mango tree and see the landscape, how you can see that, experience that, the forest. So the monkey told, don't do crazy things. You are a turtle. You stay on the ground. Don't try to, go to trees. You can't, it is not for you. Well, so the very next day, the turtle again met the monkey and again asked, you are my friend. I am asking this. Why you can't do this for me? So he gave, he gave a hard time to monkey. Now the monkey became helpless. They are both good friends. What to do? So now the monkey helpless and no choice. And one day, okay, I'll take you to the top of the mango tree, but be very careful. And then that day, the monkey took this turtle to the middle of the tree. And the turtle was so happy to see this, the first time he experienced. And he said, can you please take me to the little bit more. So the monkey, don't want to, kind of like hurt his, that the feelings. So that, okay, and took to the next, and then went to the top of the tree, and the turtle, the monkey told, okay, let's go. That's enough. You saw it. The turtle, oh, no. Just leave me here a little bit. And, we have more time and you just stay, but let me enjoy the scene. Don't disturb me. So what to do? So the monkey left this turtle in a safe place on the top of the tree. And that day there was a hunter, and he go here and there, and he looking for a target. And then he saw these weird things. What is that? Top of the tree, there is a turtle. He never saw how the turtle can climb the trees. And he thought, oh, this is very interesting. I can see the monkey, I can see the birds, and I know that the deers, the cows, But how about this turtle? This is very interesting. And he took the target and shoot and kill the turtle. So this is what happened to us. Because without, maturity, without wisdom or the knowledge how to handle happiness, if you reach to some place, maybe you will destroy yourself, or the nature or the world not allow you to be there. So don't have this cravingness to reach, to gain happiness, kind of like that. Just develop the wisdom. Whatever the situation, whatever you have, develop the wisdom in you. And know how it happens. Don't escape from any situations. Accept it. When something happened to you, remember, somehow there is some kind of responsibility you have regarding it. So take that. Don't tell, no, I am completely right, innocent person, this person did that person did that, so kind of like that. Don't just throw everything to other person. No, you are also responsible. Sometimes, in our family, when something go wrong, and sometimes every day husband, oh, my husband is wrong. Oh, this all happened because of my wife. And sometimes this all happened because of my children. Oh, this all happened because of my parents. Oh, this all happened because of my teacher. Oh, this all happened because of my neighbor. So like that, we always have a button to push. Don't do that. take fully responsibility to you. When there is something happen to you, there is some kind of reason that you don't see. There is a reason inside you. That's why it happened to you. So learn to accept it. And that's why you go through the life and then allow the life to go through you also. You go through the life and allow, accept, invite, let the life to go through you. Don't hold. Don't throw it to somebody. And then you make a journey, and out of that journey, you become strong. You build up the wisdom. Then out of that wisdom, you become strong. And that strong ability, that the strong mind, build up the conviction, the faith, the trust regarding yourself, which we call the self-confidence. That is one of the fundamental quality or the foundation for yourself to develop your spiritual path. So your self-confidence come out of your conventional lifestyle. Remember that. The way you maintain your physical and material will help you to have that conventional foundation go towards the wisdom. And not only that, it will develop the effort. Another way we call the virya. Saddha, virya. Saddha means the conviction. Those are the foundations. So the saddha, it not come out of the spirituality. It doesn't come out of the sky. It doesn't come out of the light and hit your head. It come out of your bodily, verbally, mentally practice interference with the life. And how much you interfere with the life and how much you allow or accept life to go through you will build up the conviction, trust. So that's why learn to trust yourself. It makes you strong, because the fear, unhappiness, sadness, worry will destroy inside your trust or the confidence. So you are responsible for that. That's why don't into practice with the fear-based mind. Have the little by little, have the confidence. Why? Because you are a child from the universe. You are a part of this everything. You are not separate from something. So then don't worry. When you say, oh, this is me, why that happened that way, this happened that way, when you separate, when you become very limited to yourself, your mind becomes small. Your ideas, your thoughts become smaller, midget ideas. So with that, you can't get into life. So you are the one who blocked this everything around you. So how about when you think, oh, you are a part of everything, how big you are? You are big, same like the universe. Because there is no separation, you and the universe. You are not separate from, you are a part of the sun. You are not separate from the sun. If you are separate from the sun, you can't survive. So you have to absorb it very slowly. Just imagine. Even that you put the walls, roof, there's no separation from the sun. If you separate, you will die. Look at the wind, how powerful the wind. The entire universe, it interconnected with the wind. There is no disconnection. So then you are part of it. If you are disconnected from the wind, what will happen? You die. Until you have that connection, you will experience the life. So that each and every cell in your body, head to toes, each and every organ have the connection with the air, you know that. So what is that means? You connected to the wind. And the water. Look, this air in this entire world survived and the world became like this. Why? Because of the water. Then, as you know, in the middle of the jungle, far away from the ocean, if you drop, one single drop of water, if you put down, what will happen? That drop of water has the consciousness or the power, ability, without any navigation, without any mapping, that single drop of water can find the ocean. It doesn't matter how far. No one can stop that journey. Somehow, one day, it will meet the ocean. So that much it's powerful. So you are the same. Nothing can separate you from this connection. But only one thing. What that separation happens? That separation happens inside your mind. That is what you have to get out. Those are we call the hindrance. So the way you think will separate you from the universe. The way you think make you more kind of like a midget, kind of like a Lilliput. You are a Gulliver, you can't see it. So that's why the awareness, the mindfulness is the key to transform this Lilliput to the Gulliver. It's there. It's in you. But your own thoughts block this all. That's why you have the fear. You have fear because your mind create that. Otherwise, that whatever the other side, that what you are afraid of, the fear, it's a part of you. That's the thing. Sometimes we are afraid for our own shadow. That is what happening with our eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, mind perception. When you have fear to allow the life come towards you, because you don't allow it to happen. Because you think it is something else, you think it is different. And then you have fear. And out of that, then you have the anger, hatred, jealousy. So when it comes to our life, look, the more than any other thing, more than unseen things, sometimes you have the anger, hatred, jealousy, envy, disappointment, unhappiness regarding your own people who are close to you. My husband, my wife, my children, my parents, my friends, my partners, my neighbors, my brothers, sisters, my relatives. So all my, but you have deeper anger, resistance. This thing, how it is, if it is yours, how you can get angry? If it is yours, how it can make you disappointed? That's why you have to shift this mindset. Oh, they did this, they did that. So, of course, no one can do the way you want. And you can't do the way that other people want. That is the beauty of the world. So we have to accept it. But still, you can accept and knowingly it's a part of you. Because right side is not the left side. Eye is not the ear, but it's in the same body. Whatever that your eye consciousness can do, cannot do by the ear consciousness. Whatever that your eye capable, not capable, it's the, in front of your eye, but your nose can't, do whatever that your eye does. But you're not going to get mad with the nose. So look at this, the nose in front of me, and you're not going to cut your nose. No, you don't do that. But it's two different things. So the same like your husband, your wife is two different characters. They will never do the same. If they do the same, be very careful. It cannot. Your brothers, sisters can't do the same. Your children and parents, they can't do the same. It's a difference. So learn to accept that difference knowingly. It's a part of life. It's part of everything. And don't be crazy to reach to happiness if you don't have the power or if you don't have the wisdom to handle it. So that's why develop the mindfulness. So the mindfulness will give the balance and ability, develop the equanimity, and with that you will have, it doesn't matter the suffering, it doesn't matter the happiness, you will have undisturbed mind. And knowingly, this all change. It's not change only the outside things, object, no, the subject, the experience also change. So then you are not bound to, you are not have any cravingness regarding the experience also. That is where you deeply release from this self-centered mind. So it is capable to bring this change to inside you. So only things, little by little, you need practice. So the way you think today, the things you done today, the things that you keep doing today, it didn't happen overnight. Knowingly or unknowingly, you repeat that. That's why you are so smart to do that things. So then bring it to the mindfulness also. Develop the calmness or the tranquility mind also. Develop the undisturbed mind also. And to develop this samadhi, and you need some practice. And once you have that practice, from that point, you can reach to the vipassana level or the critical, analytical, deep recognition and observation and understanding. So with that, let's get into practice a little bit. Your right palm on your left and neck head straight in one line, and be comfortable with your posture. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable. May my breath be more smooth. May no difficulties come to me. May all the success come to me. Also think for a moment. This is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime. And detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalations and exhalations. So in the beginning, deeply and gently, breathe in, breathe out 3 times and find the sensation, please. And allow your inhalations, exhalations happen itself. And when it happens through the sensation, recognize it. Do nothing extra. Bring your attention to your body, please. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also as far as you can, through galaxies, other planets, stars. Reminding yourself like this. With clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe, and may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Beings who are frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart. Forward. Visualize yourself and send it as a light. To your backside. To your left side. And to your right side. Downward. And upward. To all 6 directions at once. Like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it with the maximum effort to the highest. Wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So first of all, we offer this practice to the great qualities of the Buddha, Dharma, and the Sangha, And also by the power of this meritorious deed, may all of us attain to the supreme bliss of Nibbana. May all your guardian angels and deities will receive these merits and increase their longevity and protect all of you from any kind of planetary influences or any ill effects. Ittavata sampadam punya sampadam sabbe deva numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhuta numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe satta numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya Imaya dhammanu dhamma patipattiya buddham pujemi dhammam pujemi sangham pujemi Attaya imaya patipattiya jati jara vyadi maranam ha paribundissami Idamme punya kammang asavakkaya vahang hotu sabba dukkha pamuncatu. Bless you.